Navjot Singh Sidhu is all set to surrender today and start off serving his 365-day-long jail term in the 1988 road rage case. Remember, the Supreme Court yesterday went ahead and said that he will have to serve a one-year jail term. He's going to be surrendering in all likelihood before the Patiala police. According to sources, the Supreme Court's order, the formal order, will first be received by the Punjab and Haryana High Court, from where the same will be forwarded to the District and Sessions Court in Patiala. Sidhu will either be asked to accompany the corpse. He'll also be given the option of surrendering. And what we're hearing is that Sidhu has said that he is going to surrender before the corpse. Senior police officials, however, have said that a police team will continue to follow Sidhu even if he opts to surrender. Now, immediately after his arrest, Sidhu will be taken to the local hospital for medical examination, as is the protocol. The cops, meanwhile, will intimate jail authorities to make the necessary arrangements for lodging Sidhu. Now, Patiala jail is where Navjot Singh Sidhu is going to be. Reportedly, he chose this jail over the others. It's considered to be safer and cleaner as compared to the other prisons in Punjab. Sources have said that Sidhu and his family members are consulting their lawyers for the next course of action. Just to give you a brief backgrounder here, the road rage case dates back to 1988 when Sidhu got into an argument with a Patiala resident over a parking spot. Sidhu allegedly dragged him out of his car and hit him, and the man unfortunately later died.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट द्वारा नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू को 1 साल की सजा सुनाए जाने के बाद से ही उनके घर पर सन्नाटा पसरा हुआ है, तो दूसरी तरफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर की कॉपी ईमेल के जरिए नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू के वकील को मिल गई है और वही आदेश की कॉपी पटियाला कोर्ट को भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट द्वारा भेज दी गई है। फिलहाल नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू के घर पर सन्नाटा पसरा हुआ है और ये कहा जा रहा है कि 10 बजे नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू पटियाला कोर्ट के अंदर सरेंडर करेंगे और उसके बाद उन्हें पटियाला जेल भेज दिया जाएगा। गौरतलब है 1988 के एक रोड रेज मामले में नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू को सुप्रीम कोर्ट द्वारा 1 साल की सजा सश्रम यानी कि कठोर कारावास की सजा सुनाई गई है, जिसके लिए नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू के वकील को कोर्ट के आदेश की कॉपी भेज दी गई है और 10 बजे नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू समर्पण करेंगे। कैमरामैन गुंजीत कुमार के साथ सतेंद्र चौहान, पटियाला।
And let's get to this next report on exactly what played out yesterday. What is the 1988 road rage case all about, and what was the Supreme Court's ruling?
A few months ago, Navjot Singh Sidhu was in the race to be Punjab Chief Minister. But today, the former State Congress chief is headed to prison in a 34-year-old road rage case. The Supreme Court has sentenced Sidhu to 1-year jail term under the charge of voluntarily causing hurt. The court rejected the review plea by the victim's family to add the charge of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. The court in its order said a disproportionately light punishment humiliates and frustrates the victim of crime. The court added that indifference to the rights of a victim of a crime is eroding the faith of the society in general. Sidhu, reacting to this sentence, has said he will submit to the majesty of the law. The former cricketer's lawyer thought the review plea was a rare incident.
The turbulence, a quietus has been given by the Supreme Court. This is a matter which is rather old. In fact, review petitions themselves were not activated for many months, almost under a year. I am so happy that ultimately the Supreme Court has given a quietus.
The family, meanwhile, has decided to welcome the court's verdict.
He has to go to jail, he has to surrender and go to jail. To answer आपके एक सवाल का जवाब, क्या उनके पास लीगल रेमेडी है? वो एक क्यूरेटिव पिटीशन है. वो क्यूरेटिव डाल सकते हैं जी कि जो 5 जजों के पास जाएगी, 3 जज सर्टिफाई करेंगे, पर वो रेमेडी is very rarely exercised.
The road rage case dates back to 1988 when Navjot Singh Sidhu got into an argument with a Patiala resident over a parking spot. Sidhu allegedly dragged him out of his car and hit him. The man later died. Sidhu was earlier let off with a fine of 1,000 rupees. Now, The maximum possible punishment under Section 323 of the Indian Penal Code has been given to Sidhu. From a humiliating defeat in Punjab elections to a conviction in the road rage case, the former cricketer's political career has hit a roadblock. For Navjot Singh Sidhu, a comeback from this point seems a tough challenge. Bureau Report, India Today.
Navjot Singh Sidhu, it seems, is controversy's favourite child. He's made his way to national headlines time and again, and almost every single time, more often than not, it's for some controversial reason or the other. And in our next report, we get you details of how Navjot Singh Sidhu always manages to grab the spotlight.
From cricketer to comedian to rebel against the captain. Join us as we track the journey of controversy's favourite child. His Sidhuisms quickly made him a global phenomenon. But his enthusiasm soon caught up with him. He was sacked from a sports network for swearing on air. But that didn't deter the high-energy Sardar. In the aftermath of the Pulwama terror attack in 2019, Sidhu's bizarre decision to lock the Pakistan Army chief in a Jadoo ki Jhappi backfired badly, costing him both his TV stint as well as a huge amount of public goodwill. Running parallel to the roller coaster of his life in showbiz was a political career that saw its own dramatic swings. He joined the BJP in 2004, elected as the party's MP from Amritsar.
जो लोग हिंदुस्तान के कहते हैं वही परमात्मा की आवाज है और परमात्मा की आवाज इस बार चाहती है कि लाल किले के ऊपर झंडा नरेंद्र भाई मोदी फहराए.
In 2006, Sidhu was accused in a homicide case and sentenced to 3 years in prison, forcing him to resign from his Lok Sabha seat, only to be acquitted days later. In 2007, he was re-elected to the Lok Sabha.
महोदया, क्या सूरज को प्रमाण देने की जरूरत है कि उसमें तेज है? क्या उसका प्रकाश प्रमाण नहीं है कि उसमें तेज है?
In 2014, he went into a sulk after Arun Jaitley was made to stand from Amritsar. In 2016, just 4 months into a consolation seat in the Rajya Sabha, he quit the BJP. Attempts to join Arvind Kejriwal's AAP went nowhere, forcing him to briefly pitch out on his own. He launched a party, Awaaz-e-Punjab, flanked by former hockey great and close friend Pargat Singh. But that would prove to be a placeholder before he secured himself a place in the Congress in 2017, declaring himself a born congressman. His war against Punjab Chief Minister began shortly thereafter. Bureau Report, India Today.
And Indrani Mukerjea, after spending 6 years in Mumbai's Baikula jail, will actually be walking out of jail. She was granted bail by the Supreme Court in the Sheena Bora murder case. And in our next report, we get you all the details you need to know about where Indrani is headed, where she's going to be staying. She has a beautiful plush mansion in the heart of Mumbai in South Bombay called Marlow. And it was in this mansion that allegedly Sheena Bora was murdered.
Marlow, a duplex flat in South Mumbai, is once again in the spotlight. This is where former TV tycoon and murder accused Indrani Mukerjea will stay after walking out of the Baikula jail, which has been her home for the last 6.5 years. The 3,000 square feet house was once jointly owned by Indrani and her former husband and co-accused Peter Mukerjea. The murder-accused couple split the sprawling floors after divorce proceedings. Marlow is a house crawling with secrets. Investigators believe it was here that Indrani kept her daughter Sheena Bora's body overnight after the horrific murder. It was set on fire in a forest the next morning. Even as the shadow of Sheena's murder looms large, Indrani will return to the Worli house, where she will set her affairs in order. Here, Indrani will reportedly finish her autobiography, which she began penning when she was in Baikula jail. Bureau Report, India Today.
It's that time of the year where again the focus is on the state of Assam. Come the monsoons, come the inundation, the flooding and endless woes for Assam's residents. Here's a ground report from Dima Hasao district in the state, which remains completely inundated.
Floods and landslides wreak havoc. Over 4 lakh people in 26 districts affected. Several lives lost, many more at risk. Situation continues to remain grim in Assam. New Haflong railway station in Dima Hasao district now completely submerged in the debris from a landslide. Images of the station that went viral revealed the true horrors of Assam floods. India Today reached ground zero for first-hand account of the destruction in the area.
This is Dima Hasao, the district, and the road you see is taking us to an area called Haflong. But as you can see, half of this area is completely, the debris is still over here. We do not understand whether this is a fresh one because the water is still receding. It's coming down towards the valley from the hills. This debris is still around.
नहीं नया है
ये नया है
नया है
कब हुआ
हाँ ये इसको मैंने 2 दिन हो गया ना क्या इतना 2 दिन हो गया 2 दिन हो गया
अभी तक साफ नहीं किया
हाँ
अभी तक साफ
नहीं किया अभी वो कर क्या ना किया अबे कहना है सब खोना है.
The state agencies are working round the clock to clear tunnels and roads to ensure that essential services reach the people.
This road, this tunnel that you see behind me takes us to Silchar, but 24 hours back this was completely blocked. The simple reason is because of the landslides that took place over here. As you can see now, these vehicles are moving thanks to the state government's JCBs that have been clearing these roads so that vehicular movement can resume in a normal way.
The Jorhat district administration sent food items to the flood-affected areas of Barak and Haflong with Air Force assistance. The Kachhar district administration has closed all educational institutions and non-essential private establishments for 48 hours. The Met Department has predicted widespread rain across the state for the next few days. Assam may not be getting any respite for a few days. With Suragni Roy, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you now details about the new boxing hero that everyone's talking about. Nikhat Zareen creating history in Istanbul by bagging gold, by winning the gold medal in the Women World Championship. She's only the 5th Indian woman to do so.
A few nerve-wracking moments followed by a nervous wait for the final result. And then ecstasy. The celebration at Nikhat Zareen's house in Hyderabad carried on well into the night. After their daughter scripted a golden chapter in Indian boxing history, winning the gold at the World Boxing Championship in Istanbul.
बहुत खुशी की बात है मेरे को आज जो एक अच्छे चैंपियन की तरह अच्छे बॉक्सिंग करे हैं पेरिस ओलंपिक्स के लिए तैयारी कर रहे हैं जिसमें से वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में हमारी शुरुआत है और इसके लिए हम 6 महीने से ऑलरेडी ट्रेनिंग करें कोविड के टाइम में भी हम ट्रेनिंग करें इसको और लगातार करने के बाद में आज हमारे पास ये नतीजा रिजल्ट आया.
Her 5-0 win against Jitpong Jutamas of Thailand in the finals has meant that Nikhat is only the 5th Indian to win gold at the prestigious event.
Firstly, I would like to thank everyone, especially BFI, Ajay sir, and Sai and all the coaches, my head coach Bhaskar Bhatt for always being very supportive. And through their support only, today I am able to become world champion. And yes, ऐसे ही मेहनत करते रहेंगे. और as Ajay sir said कि world champion तो बन गया है, but he want to see me winning Paris Olympic gold medal also. तो इंशाल्लाह ऐसे ही मेहनत करते रहूंगी मैं. And definitely I'll give my best to win Paris Olympic gold medal.
Born in 1996 to a middle-class conservative family, this Nizamabad native took to boxing at a young age of 13, thanks to the support she received from her parents from the very beginning. She first caught everyone's eye when she was crowned the World Junior Champion in 2011. But her transition to the senior level wasn't easy, as she competed in the same weight category as arguably India's best boxer ever, MC Mary Kom. Their off-the-ring clashes also prompted Mary Kom to famously remark once, "Who is Nikhat Zareen?" But now, having played second fiddle to Mary Kom for years, Nikhat's recent exploits are proof enough that this newly crowned world champion, with her fist of fury, is a name to reckon with. Sports Bureau, India Today.